Hi folks, I'm back with another video this week, and this topic is a fun one. It is the Clone Wars and missed opportunities that Filoni could have done. I mentioned this in my Clone Wars review, the kind of overall review of the TV series by Dave Filoni, but I don't know if I gave him numbers and kind of just straightened out, made a shorter video just about what I think he could have improved upon, missed opportunities, so to speak. So here are, and really there's only four. I don't have to do a top 5 or top 10 every time. If I can only think of 4 big ones, there's a lot of little things, yeah, like no Ahsoka. Maybe that's number 5, I don't know. But the 4 big ones I thought were just missed opportunities. Dave Filoni had the incredible opportunity when creating Clone Wars, and for the first few seasons, I thought this is kind of how it was going to go, is he was going to bridge that gap. Now that they know what's going on in episode 3, they can bridge that gap and set things up for episode 3. And he swung and missed so many times in later seasons, it was ridiculous. But here are 4 things that he got wrong. First off, General Grievous should have been amazing in this series. Not a one-flop joke who always gets foiled by Obi-Wan and Anakin over and over and over again. And by the way, I think he and General Kenobi should have had this rivalry, but it just happens in space. You know, maybe they don't fight, or if they do, it's very little, if not at all, because you should be wanting to see these two clash. And the first time they should ever meet should be in episode 3. Now, they obviously know each other because they've been in lots of battles. But let's say that maybe Obi-Wan pulls off an impossible trick and fools or defeats Grievous, so he has to run away. But most times, Grievous wins. Remember in Tartakovsky's Clone Wars, Grievous was awful. He was awful. He was scary at the end of season 1, the finale there, just knocking off Jedi going crazy. That's what Grievous should have been like. He should have been shown the same way, a menacing character that we were afraid about, that we feared, that we revered. And so when we saw episode 3, like, oh man, it's General Grievous. Yeah, that's what we should be saying. But if you watch these in chronological order, meaning you watch Attack of the Clones, then the Clone Wars series, then you're like, meh, that buffoon, they'll take him out easy as they ever do. It just kind of cheapened and lessened the story in episode 3. And I think he should have kept that menacing characteristic of Grievous and make him like literally undefeated, or like way more wins than losses. Okay, by the time episode 3 comes. So we'd fear him more. My number 3 is Anakin's Descent to the Dark Side. It was touched on here and there, not really as much as it could have been. After every adventure, or a few adventures, maybe he goes back home to Coruscant and confides with Palpatine. Now, that doesn't make good fodder for a children's show, but remember, this was also for adults too, and they even said that. It was for Star Wars fans of all ages. So they could have given us a little deposition between Palpatine and Anakin as he's slowly manipulating him over this series. You know, maybe Anakin comes home, he had to make a tough decision, but, he had to kill all these people and he didn't want to. But the Emperor goes, well, sometimes you have to do what you don't want to just to make things right, basically kind of lining him up for his new empire. I think that would have been great if we could have seen more of that manipulation that was going on, and how Anakin and Palpatine forged this relationship, and Anakin really trusted him, but Palpatine wasn't actually giving the best advice, like saying, I wonder why the Jedi shun anger. There's nothing wrong with it to let out your anger, especially against those who deserve it. It always has it sounds good, but it's actually one step closer to the dark side, which is where he's leading Anakin. I wish those subtle touches would have been put throughout the whole thing, because then, leading up to episode 3, everything would have paid off. My number 2 here is, and this is one I've said over and over again, the scroll of episode 3 said there are heroes on both sides, right? The, Republic and the Separatists. Well, Dave Filoni made an episode called Heroes on Both Sides, but he didn't really showcase and highlight the just cause of the Separatists. There's a lot of good people who wanted to be separatist. But we never got to hear their story. And I think this is a huge missed opportunity, because Clone Wars, at first it was going to just focus on clones, then maybe on Obi-Wan, then Anakin and Ahsoka, then Ahsoka, and then Ahsoka, and then Ahsoka, and then Ahsoka. But what they should have done is they should have focused on the Separatists and showing good people wanting to do the right thing, or seeing the erosion of the Republic. Heck, maybe even Palpatine does something on purpose to make some certain planets leave, to strengthen the Separatists, to stir up the pot some more. I mean, I wish we could have seen a lot more of that. And Dave Filoni had the opportunity to put that in there, but he chose not to. And finally, the last one here, it's obviously the bond between Anakin and ObiWan. What Filoni does is a terrible idea. He throws Ahsoka in the mix, basically drives a wedge between them, because now they have someone there. They can't really bond with that third wheel sitting there. And also, she's always getting in trouble, always complaining, always cracking jokes. They're never able to have a moment where Anakin and Obi-Wan could be the same, could be on the same level. Tartakovsky's series did this. It touched on it. It's a very short series, but it touched on it here and there. But Filoni had umpteen seasons. He could have built up this great respect between the two. Like at first they're still Master Padawan, but then he becomes, as he's a knight, they become more and more friends. Why couldn't Filoni's TV show do it? It'd be the perfect spot, because you see that bond at the very beginning of episode 3. They're going around, hey, what should we do next? Because, they're so cavalier now, because they're the best friends and they're awesome. They've been doing awesome things through this whole Clone Wars thing. Yeah, I get that. I love that. But unfortunately, no. We don't see that at all. And it's just incredible to me that he didn't even look at that. He didn't even look at episode 3 as his end goal. He's like, I'm going to make the Clone Wars. He thinks he invented the Clone Wars, if you asked him probably. I don't know. I'm rambling on Dave Filoni here. But either way, those are 4 huge missed opportunities from the Clone Wars. Maybe an honorable mention was he could have tied in more EU and really shown how awesome he was, but he's not that awesome. All right, folks, let me know in the comments below, do you have any other missed opportunities from Filoni's Clone Wars series? And I'll talk to you next time in another video.